Sergeant Tyree. So I just watched the Harris-Pence debate, which the reason why I tuned in wasn't to figure out who I was going to vote for, because I'm very, very, very clear about who I'm going to vote for. Hey, Martha. So I'm very clear about who I'm going to vote for. Hey, Joanna. So I watched the debate because we're going to have a Black woman vice president, and I wanted to be a part of that historic moment. I wanted to just take a minute to do that. I did not watch the first presidential debate. I chose to watch Nollywood movies instead, and Nollywood are Nigerian movies, because I wanted something to make me feel good in my spirit and to make me laugh. So I chose to watch Nollywood over the first debate, but over this debate, I thought I would tune in because it's very historic. And I just want to start off by saying I jumped off my commentary right after the first question. So right after the first question, I said I did not like Kamala Harris's answer, and I did not like her answer. And immediately people started jumping to the feed saying things like, well, if she's a Black woman and she's doing her thing, she's up there, how dare you say? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris has not told us how they're going to keep us safe from the coronavirus. I went to Joe Biden's site, I guess a few days ago, and started reading. And one of the things that I'm really curious about, and I don't know the answer to, is in the strategy, he's saying he's going to put up 10 new coronavirus testing sites per state. And I don't know if that's enough, because we're not talking about it in the debates. And I'm not sure about, what's happening with the coronavirus. And I don't feel like they're answering the question. I don't feel like the website thoroughly answers the question. I don't feel like they're addressing it. They're not telling us if they're going to do a shutdown. And I just really want to know the answer to that question. And so I don't think that she answered that question. And when I said that, I got a lot of feedback. I got feedback from people who thought I was disrespectful to say something negative about a Black woman. But I think that I treated Kamala Harris like a real vice presidential candidate by criticizing her answers and listening for her answers and respecting the fact that she was up there just like I would a man. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we correct out of love. We post on Facebook, on Twitter. We correct and put the culture out there so that we are starting a conversation. And the conversation is, what are we going to do about the coronavirus? One of the things that the moderator said was that over the last week, cases have gone up for the coronavirus. In my city, there's an elementary school that has a cluster. Further, we've had 9 teachers die since school started back up. So the coronavirus is a concern, and Black and brown people are on the front line. They're not getting the necessary PPE. They're not getting the necessary pay. They're not getting the necessary treatment. So if it's between my whole community and Kamala Harris, I'm going to always stand up for my whole community. Right. And I don't mean just Black people, but I mean the working class citizens who don't have what they need, and we need answers. So I just want to let you guys know that my critique of any leader is going to come from a place of respect, whether it's going to be Pence or whether it's going to be Harris. She did not answer the question. I am not okay with what Joe Biden has on the website as an appropriate answer for the coronavirus. And as American citizens, Black, white, poor, rich, brown, purple, orange, legal, illegal, whatever y'all want to use, whatever words, anybody living on this grass in America, we all need to come together, no matter our voting status, no matter our age, no matter our race, no matter what they try to tell you your citizenship is. And we need to be concerned about our safety and how we're going to protect ourselves and our communities. That is what we need to be worried about. And it is not that I was trying to be hard on Kamala Harris. They decided not to answer the question. And as American people and people who are here in America, we all need answers. And so that was really what my critique was about. And I'm still very unclear about what they choose to do about the coronavirus. So we all need to really think about that and look ahead. So that was really, though, my only critique of Kamala Harris. I feel like she did an amazing job beyond that question. I loved how she carried herself. And I was particularly impressed with how she reclaimed her time, how she allowed Pence to continuously be rude and go over the time. But when she was ready to go over her time, she did it in a way that was very presidential and very fair, but it was still classy and it still didn't play. So I really appreciated that for her. And for me, those are the kind of leadership skills I look for when I'm looking for a candidate to represent me out in the world. So I was really impressed with that. I also can really appreciate the fly landing on Mike Pence's head. I saw so many different people commenting on that in the feed. And I think that one of my favorite comments was, he's full of shit, and that's why flies are swarming around him. So yeah, that was one of my favorite pieces of commentary from the feed. The other thing I want to talk about that I don't think will be called out, but I think is super important for us to discuss, is the fact that at the end, the high school student who was questioned, whose question was read, I felt like the way that Mike Pence addressed her was kind of like mansplaining her and downplaying her comment. I didn't appreciate just the overall language of how he addressed the answer. He did not address her as a future leader. He did not address her question as important. But I'll tell you that I have been leading debates across Western North Carolina. I've been doing forums. And one of the questions I have is, how are you going to reunite us? Because we are so divided. It's a real question. It's an important question. And it needs to be answered with something more than we like to debate and we come together at the end. Because we can look at the culture of the United States today and we can say that is not true. That's not what happened. Right? We need to be very clear that there is a division amongst us. One of my bigger critiques of this race is that, like, for example, when I said I didn't appreciate Kamala Harris's first answer, people just like went in on me. They weren't like, we are not allowed to have a discussion or debate about what we like and what we don't like anymore. That's a part of the division. The fact that we are so divided is scary. And so I really didn't like his answer to that question. I really didn't. The only question that I answer that he had that was even remotely okay was the first answer. And I felt like he was dishonest in that answer, but at least he did try to share some statistics, some strategy. But for me at a debate, what I'm listening for is, are you explaining to me what it is you want me to know? Are you sharing statistics, background? Are you letting me know? So when they ask the candidate a question, I want to know what's the depth of their knowledge. So when they give me the historical background, then I know they know the depth of their knowledge. And that is going to make all the journalists fact check. And I love when that happens, so I can tell if they're hot pants liars or not. Then I want to hear what they plan on doing and what they've done in the past. And Kamala did a great job of that as the debate went on. And those are the ways that I like my questions to be answered. And you can filibuster, save time, and do all the political tricks. And you can give candidates all the credit for that if that's what you choose to do. That's not how I run my ship. I like my candidates to come off intelligent, presidential, strong, knowledgeable, respectful, and I like to know they can get the job done in 2 minutes. Like, I like to know that you're not going to go over your time, because I need to know that you're not going to be late on those deadlines when you run in the country. So those are like the kind of leadership things that I'm looking for, which is probably different from what you're looking for. But I'm looking for candidates who can answer the questions in the allotted time, that can show that they have a knowledge base, that they understand what's going on, and that they have the whole piece. And so I think overall Kamala Harris did that. But I do think as a society, we better be asking, what's the coronavirus plan? And that's my spiel. You can drop something below. Let me know what you look for in a candidate. You can let me know if you have any questions for me. You can drop those questions below too. But I am so excited that it looks like we deserve, well, like it looks like Kamala Harris won that debate. She handled herself presidential. She looked amazing. She let it be known she was a Black woman. She did all the things, and I'm super proud of her. Just a credit to our race, our gender, and humanity overall. So super proud of her. Great night. We still need to know what y'all gonna do about the Rona though. All right, I'm out.